Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. Today, back into our game of Decisive Campaigns, Ardennes Offensive. This is our Let's Play against the Allied AI, and we are coming up here to the end of round two. We are going to turn the turn here in a minute. But before we do, I want to go bottom to top. We usually go top to bottom, obviously. But I want to go bottom to top of the map. Just make sure we've moved everything we want to move. There's nothing that's still out there. You see a lot of zeros here. These units do not have action points. They're not unlocked yet. They're still static. They're at a lot of these bridges up and down. Is that the Sour River? I believe. Yeah, it is. Up and down here. We do have 53rd Corps headquarters. This, I actually guess that I'll move. What else do we have? We have the, just trying to figure out what we have in 53rd Corps. Does this go back to 50? No, that goes back to 80th. Well, 53rd Corps, I think I'm going to move up into this town and just let it sit there. Oh, you see we do have some artillery underneath there and some artillery here. Make sure that's part of the Corps. Yep. And hopefully that artillery will unlock. I do see a unit back here. Now that is part of 85th Corps. Where the heck are you, 85th Corps? There's 80th Corps. Okay. I do not actually think the 85th Corps is on the map yet, but we've got movement points here. We may as well move if we can. Let's look at the hex. Are we in a town? No. If we were in a town, I was going to say, well, let's just stay in the town. Let's get it getting. Let's get get it getting. Let's get it down here by Wolfsfeld. Okay, and we'll look around for 85th Corps next time. I don't think it's an active corps at this moment. 80th Corps is back here in Furschweiler? Sure. And you can see some of the units that are underneath 80th Corps. Is the 212th Division? Yeah. So the 212th Division's underneath 80th Corps. Is this, where's our headquarters here? Where are you, divisional headquarters? We also have these engineers that can move out. Now they're part attached to 7th Army. Get up here. That must be the Corps. Let's go stack and mini. Or I mean the division. 272nd, yeah, that's part of 80th Corps. That's what I thought. Okay, so these two divisions are underneath that Corps. We've moved out a little bit. I don't think we need to move much more. We could potentially move this artillery down, but I don't think we're quite ready to do that. The Nebelwerfers, though, could move because nothing is in range for them right now. But I think I'm going to leave them here this time. Um, Same with this. We've moved out a little bit. These are more blocking forces along the river. I wanted the Sour River as it runs up here. I want that to be our defensive line in the south. I have moved units out just to see what the Americans, snoop around a little bit, destroy what we can. We may as well. We have overwhelming force on most places in the map early on. So if we can destroy some units down here, that would be great. Is there any card I want to play on these guys? Maybe, like here we could go to the officer and play Recon, but it looks like we already did. Okay, that's the kind of stuff I just want to check before we turn the turn. The 352nd here, this is, oh, there's your 85th Corps. Okay, well, I was completely wrong. Let's go up here. That's 7th Army. And if I scoop back, and this is why I want to keep, getting familiar with the map. Where is your Corps headquarters? 85th Corps. Well, we'll have to remember that. There's 80th, but this unit that I moved out here near Wolfsfeld on the road actually needs to come up and around this way and get with the 85th Corps. Okay. I just like to do this to get a sense of the map. It's a new game to me, and I just want to make sure that I have a good handle on what commands what and where everything is and should be headed. That all looks fine. Now, somebody had mentioned that I had mentioned there was a potential attack. So here we're up here to 560th Infantry. that we had good odds. And if we scoot back, I mean, we're almost to the top of the map now. Um, that we had good odds out here on something, and I just wanted to go back and look and make sure there wasn't an attack I was missing. It could be here potentially. There was also the good odds that we almost certainly have here. I mean, we can bring hell and fire to that unit, and there's not a whole lot of left of it. Uh, 27th, this is 89, 12th, and 12th. If we brought 89 in, these are all ranged attacks, though. The easier way to do this would be to go here, go to the hex, and go attack, and you can see what could actually attack that just straight on. Now it's just this anti-tank. Everything else would be mortar fire or ranged attack. For the most part. Let's go here, and then you can look and see what could attack this ranged. Do we have any straight up like good divisional artillery? Because I'd rather hit it with that if we could. 453, so this would be counter battery fire. Let's go ahead and fire there out of first SS. See if we can just destroy the rest of this. We don't lose any guns. This was the bigger, kind of divisional artillery. The Americans lose 2 trucks and a bazooka. Okay, well, we could hit this again. There's not a whole hell of a lot left, but I would like to get it just out of the way so we don't have to mess with it next time. Now, we could fire Nebelwerfers in there, it looks like. We've got a lot of range stuff that can fire here. Let's fire the Nebelwerfers at it and see if we could take out any hard assets. And there we go. Okay, so we totally destroyed that. And that's really what I wanted. You can see these are the big rockets. The Nebelwerfer 300 and the 210s let loose, and that unit is just gone. Other than that, I think we're probably where I want to be. Anything else up here? I don't think so. So, are there any cards? Let's just look over the reports really quickly. There's really nothing I really, care to see there. Not at least right now. Are there any cards we want to play? 32 political points. It seems very unlikely we would want to play any cards this late in the turn. I don't think we need any of this stuff. We're not building depots yet, so I think that's all fine. Okay, let's turn the turn. Let's see what happens. So that's going to be the end of round 2 and end of round 3, which will be the afternoon of December 16th. It says afternoon, but it's like 6 p.m., so I guess it's at twilight, especially here in the middle of December. You probably wouldn't have much light at all at 1800 hours. So we'll see. And I'll do what I usually do. We'll pause after it starts to run the resolutions. Now I still have this on slow, AI slow, because I want it to think everything through. It's kind of funny to think of a computer having to sit and think, but I want it to go as slow as possible so the AI does as good a job as possible, and I've been told that it really does make a difference, so we shall see. And like I said, when I play turn-based games for the most part, I don't care if it takes the AI a while. I'll go do, get a cup of coffee, hang out, do whatever. This thing could take as long as it wants to within some kind of reason, but this one doesn't take that long. So I pause this, and now the steps will continue to run here as I move back, or they should. Yeah, see, so the steps continue to run. I've got it paused. No spoilers, so we can go through it all together, but it's going to run all of its steps here, and then we'll play them through. Now, you can do this as fast and as slow as you want. You can see, you can whiz right through these. I like to go through them one by one, um, let it jump around on the map and kind of get a feel of what the AI is up to. I think in the first round it did maybe about 130 steps. Right now we're at 104, now 108. We could probably go ahead and start playing these if we wanted to. Oh, I see. And then shift goes 10 steps. So we're going to go one step at a time. We're up to 123 steps. So I'm going to go ahead and start playing here. 2nd Infantry Division moves. Look at that. Beautiful counter, American star there. So 2nd Infantry Division right there. Where are we on the map? Yeah, just south of Rotkin. And so, historically, obviously, 2nd Infantry was a big part of this battle. Unknown unit moves. You could see it moving down the road there. Airstrike, okay? So he does come in with some airstrikes, and this is what you got to be careful about. We don't want to lose too many tanks getting too ambitious. You get a huge bonus protection, I should say, from airstrikes from being in towns and urban areas. Here we lose 2 of the Jagdpanzers, and then he hits here. It looks like we lost nothing there in that airstrike. So we'll take that. Now this can also cause traffic damage. You can see down here structural damage and traffic points. So, it could cause you to not be able to move down a road as well, in more interdiction. We lose an Opal Blitz there, so you can see all the American air power right now anyway, which is actually somewhat limited early on, is hitting us right there in that big center where we're moving all those motorized assets through. There was a supply drop. Now we have another airstrike. This is on this Recon group out here by Bulge, where we had put the grief team. We had moved through. We do lose 4 half tracks, well, 6 half tracks altogether, and a truck, but that's not terrible. Air supply, not the band out here. 110th Infantry Regiment is on the move. Okay. Let's see exactly where we are in the map. I think that was quite a bit south. I actually kind of wish you could see the mini map while this is going on. 112th Infantry Regiment. Oh, this is Fischbach. Okay, so it's moving through there. 2nd Panzer can't move yet. Hopefully the Americans will activate 2nd Panzer by getting too close to them. But you see the 112th moving up the main road here to try to block us. Now this is where I said that appeared to be kind of a soft underbelly. There wasn't a whole lot out here, especially considering there's a major road. But you can see the Americans now starting to react to that. Unknown unit moves, and then we hit it with intercept fire. The 630th Toad is on the move, an unknown unit moving here. Kind of fly through that. Anti-aircraft battalion. Where is this? This is directly across from 1st SS. As we've, I mean, we went a long ways out here, relatively speaking, for round 2. Okay, tank battalion, we hit with intercept fire. Who knows what damage we do there. The cavalry squadron, now this is up, it looks like he's kind of retreating back towards Rotkin. Probably a smart move on their part. Intercept fire, so we hit that with mortar. Intercept fire there, so a lot of this is us firing back. 394th Infantry Regiment moves up here, just south of Rocherath. This is where we move the KG Kraus up here to kind of block. This is why, although that bridge is blown, we hit them with the intercept fire, and then we hit this American unit, part of the 12th Regiment, with intercept fire, and now he's moving some other element of the 12th Regiment back. Okay, we hit intercept fire here, as it looks like he's kind of balling up there into a bigger force. Okay, he's obviously retreating back down these roads, which probably makes a lot of sense there by Marburg. Um, unknown unit. This is where we crossed over. We hit this with intercept fire. This is where we crossed over the Sour River in a few places anyway, but he's moving his armor. He's got a lot of armor right there. This is up by Rotkin. Okay, so this is, all the way to the north there. Okay, this is again down by, well, this is the Bleeze River. Where's the Bleeze River? It's a ways down here on the map. Let's scoot back just a little bit if I can. Can I? No, I can't zoom out now. Okay. That's just some artillery moving down the road. We hit this infantry with some intercept fire. You can see this is back in our lines just a little bit. I mean, we've got anti-air. No, that's the Fallschirmjäger. Sorry. I was like, that's anti-aircraft. No, that's anti-aircraft. This is airborne, or what's supposed to be Luftwaffe troops. And you can see he's advancing here. I think he thinks he senses weakness. Now we have a lot more that we can bring around this. Well, that those units are trying to get the heck out of there. Maybe he was just trying to link up. See him coming back down the road. You're seeing a little bit of falling back and a little bit of moving forward. It's hard to tell which way the AI wants to go right now. This is up here by 67th, so this is kind of on the northern part of the map, and he's cut this unit off, sort of. I mean, are we really cut off? Well, I think he's surrounding himself eventually. Intercept fire there, but he's certainly here by the 277th, kind of in between the 277th and the 326th. So this is right up north. Um, he's massing some forces right here. Artillery, we don't lose a thing, but we do get knocked back. So he did counterattack here against one of our regiment parts here. So a battalion, we lose 100 of the K98 Volksgrenadiers and 60 of the STG-4 types. 160 troops lost. The Americans lost almost nothing, one M4, so that was a good result for him as armor now moves into that town, and now he's consolidating even more there. We hit him with some intercept fire because we have anti-tank there. From my limited experience playing this game, but just knowing what I know, anti-tank is really good on the intercept fire. You don't necessarily always want to, really be offensive with it. It's better for intercept fire. He hits us with artillery fire here in the 326. We lose 10 Volksgrenadiers there, and then he attacks here into the 326th. He loses 10 rear area troops, 6 AT guns, 5 bazookas. He loses quite a bit. We lose nothing. That's really standing firm. Then he hits this group with artillery, part of the 988th Regiment. Then he hits the 272nd Regiment. We lose 10 infantry there. Now he's moving some more units here. Let's back that up. So intercept fire here, and then he attacks. Defender stood firm. Oh, it's right in here. So you can see we're right at the northern end of the map here, up in the, not the 74th, it's actually the 67th that controls these units in the 272nd Regiment. He hits here. He loses 10 rear area troops, 6 bazookas, trying to hit back. We lose 1 Hetzer. We'll take that trade. That's fine. Okay, intercept fire here. He's really being aggressive in the north, certainly. Artillery fire, we lose 10 infantry on the 1056th Regiment. Tank battalion, tank destroyer battalion, we hit with artillery or intercept fire. He's moving his infantry in here. We're a little weak right in this area, so probably a good idea. He hits the 1056 with artillery again. We lose one of our 81 millimeters. He hits the 1063rd with artillery. We lose 50 infantry there. Okay, that was a good artillery result for the Americans. Unknown unit on the move. 81st Combat Engineers on the move. This is near Schonberg. Okay. He's moving his cavalry around a lot, just I think trying to block roads. That's anti-aircraft that he's moving up. This is down by the 212th on the Sour River. He's massing here a little bit, which could help us get around him. By the 62nd Division, here we had a lot of this, what looked to be, getting surrounded, but he's moved some forces up here. We hit this with intercept fire. Okay, he wants to cross the river there with some armor. That's a recon unit. Now this is by Bulge where we took the supply depot with this grief team. He's moving these combat engineers out. He said, nope, enough for us. You can see forces moving into the area there. This is, near where all of our motorized from 1st SS. Now, this is the 2nd SS, kind of regiment, right? But he's moving some infantry here where we got pretty extended. Maybe took those guys a little far down by the Sour. He's got some anti-aircraft. He's also moving up into that where we've got all of our motorized moving through. And then that's going to do it. Okay, so all in all, it was kind of hard to tell exactly what the AI was up to. He hit us with one pretty smart counterattack, but all in all, I think we really that was fine by us. You know, the Americans are just shuffling forces, certainly caught by surprise historically, and so that plays out here. You know, we found a real weakness in their line, kind of to the north of the center, and that's where we're moving all of our motorized troops through. Now, we don't want to make the mistakes the Germans did, or maybe, I mean, you know, if you look at the Battle of the Bulge, were they ever going to win? Well, probably not, but we're going to try to change history here. Round three conditions, it's afternoon, overcast, just below zero. So we still are going to have limited air power here in round three. You can see the night turn will also be overcast. And then tomorrow, starting in the morning in round five, it'll be mist just below zero up until the night where it's light precipitation. And then day three starts out in round nine, also with some mist. Okay. Axis has 57 victory points occupied on the map. Allied casualties give Axis 5 extra VP. Okay, so that's good. Thus, the total Axis VP is at 62. We need 150 victory points for a major victory. We need 110 for a minor victory. 70 or less and we lose. Okay. Well, that's not true. 90 or less and we lose because that would be a minor Allied victory. Everything in between that's a draw, 90 to 110. You can see what our losses are. We've lost 400 Volksgrenadier K98s. We've lost 230 Volksgrenadier STG-44, as Nordhammer rightfully pointed out. I believe it's the STG-44 has an assault rifle, so they're a more powerful unit. Or element, I should say, 220 regular infantry, and you can see what everything's worth here. Regular infantry is worth 0.5 points, as are these Volksgrenadiers and these Volksgrenadiers. So all infantry, for the most part, that we've seen so far is worth half a point, as are the Jaegers. Pioneers are worth half a point, Nachtruppen half a point. So anything on foot, it seems, is half a point. The 81 millimeters, we've lost 10 of those. Those are worth 2 points apiece. The Stab worth a half a point. SS infantry worth half. Yeah, so if it is on the ground, no matter how good the troop, it's worth half a point. And guns are worth either 2 points, 5 points here in the flak, you can see. The 120 millimeter mortars are worth 2. Panzerschrecks are worth 1. So the guns have some variety of what they're worth. The half tracks here worth 2 points. The Stug's worth 5. Got to keep that in mind. Half track 2. Maltiers. Well, you can look down here, but the bigger artillery guns are worth 5. The smaller mortar guns are worth 2. Okay, so that's good to know. Allied losses, he's already lost, you know, right at 3,000 infantry on the ground. He's also lost an incredible number of trucks, and those are worth 1 point apiece. Probably a little overvalued if I was just saying, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Rear area troops worth half a point. You know, the GIs are as well. Um, you can see we've destroyed a lot of trucks, a lot of mortars, a lot of guns. These AT guns are worth 5 points apiece, and we've already taken out 44 of them. Some of the half tracks here are worth 2 points. We've taken out a good number of these 155 millimeter howitzers. Those are worth 5 points apiece. A couple of the M8 Scots, they're worth 5 points apiece. So his total losses in power points, 3342. We're at 649. Now, of course, you know, we have an advantage here. There's no doubt about that in day one. So we'll see how that turns around. But hey, let's try to keep it that way. Air Recon, Grief, and OKW Reserve are new cards that come on this time. So that is fantastic. And let's actually go look at our cards, see what we've got. So now we've got two of these OKW Reserve cards. This is the new one. On the eastern map border, we'll place the following units: 10th SS Panzer Artillery, a full Panzer Regiment, a SS Panzer Grenadier Regiment, two of those, and a flak. So wow, I mean that's a couple of regiments, some artillery and flak, anti-air. That's almost a full division. So excellent. So for 160 points, we're now up to 52 political points. Okay. I really want this 11th Panzer Division. That just makes my mouth water. Um, OKW reserve there. All right. I mean, that's what we're looking for. These are more if we get in a little bit of trouble. I think we can very quickly put some men back on the map. Kampfgruppe, we can organize a new one if we want to. Again, these to me are kind of, uh-oh, we're in trouble. We just need manpower. Um, his ground units, so Luftwaffe ground units, these are for those Fallschirmjägers. If those get depleted, we could put that on here. The grief team, we've already seen how that works, and I really like that one. Trucks, fuel, replacements. I mean, we'll have to look and see what our supply situation is. I get the sense that it's been, fine so far. I mean, we don't have anything isolated. We're not very far out on the map. This is more day, probably 5 or something. Air support, we will be running air recon again, and then depots. Okay, so those are kind of the big cards that we have to think about as we move on, and it makes sense we'd be on header group B, the big overall command as we see that. But let's go all the way to the top of the map, all the way to the north, where I like to start and just kind of see the situation. Now, he was hitting back on us here in a few places at the 272nd. You can see the Americans, if they have any power on the line anywhere, it's right up here in the north. And I was talking about trying to slide by here. Are we going to be able to do that? Well, I don't know. I mean, it looks like he's got a decent amount of forces all through the north here. Now, some of this is artillery. It's got 1 point, but he's got infantry that slid here. He's certainly kind of matched up with us across the line here. So, we're going to have to continue to kind of probe because I would like to get to Rotkin. Pause for a second, grab a drink. I'll be right back. All right, let's get going down the map. It is the 89th Division. You can see right here, 89th Division under Walter Bruns. Do we want to play any cards? Well, maybe. He's got only 7 command points, though. We have used the Recon card. So, um, oh, okay. So we do have a supply card in here now. I didn't notice that before, but it doesn't mean it wasn't here. I just didn't notice it. We've got the defensive cards in green, hold, hedgehog, entrench. We've got recon, and we've got attack under Bruins in 89th. Now, if you look, the 89th Division, he's got all of his units that are infantry in total command. And then we've got a divisional artillery back here that is just out of command. And if we, click down here, you can see only 90 command points there. The things I'm kind of looking for as I move down these units are, are we in command range? So headquarter power 100%. That's great. Um, do we, are we getting all the supply we need? And this percentage will go down if we're not getting enough, right? Because this is how much supply they consumed, 100% for optional functioning. And we've got that. Are we taking any kind of supply attack modifier, fuel supply defensive modifier, right? Um, you can see here, this is a battle group. This is integrity. So we can see our integrity. It's part of a battle group, so we don't really have that concern. Max readiness, okay, 87. So this is its vigor. It actually right now is at 71%. That's because it's moved, etc. It's got 25% experience, 44 on the morale. Base morale is 50, so its morale's down a little bit, and it's entrenched at a 74 level. Okay, so that's everything we're looking at down there as we start right here at the top. Now, this is the Fusiliers. The Fusiliers go directly back to the divisional headquarters for their command. Yes. I mean, the regiments do too, but these are part of a regiment. We do have divisional artillery here. We also then have the regimental artillery that's up here. And then we have 189th. This is the Divisional Artillery. Oh, I'm sorry. This was Regimental Artillery. My bad. It's a Grenadier Regiment. My fault. This is the Divisional Artillery back here. If we look at its guns, it's got a range of 8, a range of 11, a range of 12, and that's okay. So anything within 8, it's going to be full firepower, or at least it can shoot all of its guns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the unit I really want to focus on, this cavalry. If we look at the hex, it's out in the field, so it's exposed, whereas this is in heavy forest. This is also in field, so we'll hit this unit quite a bit too and bring our artillery to bear. But let's hit with the divisional artillery this cavalry unit and see if we can take out any of the hard assets. We take out 2 of the M3s and 1 truck. Okay, well that's not bad. Let's first of all look back here. These are those Sickarungs that are kind of garrison units. Those can't move. We've also got the core artillery here that is part, and if we look down here on 89th, it's part of 74th Corps. 74th, and only has 89th Division underneath it, so it's all this focus up here. Now we could really start banging away here as well. This is a softer unit. With the core artillery, though, we have better luck with, well, I mean, it does great against softer targets, but whereas the regimental artillery does not do good against hard targets, the divisional's big enough guns, it can take out some hard targets, and you can see here 30 veterans, 1 half track, 1 Greyhound, 1 more M3, and so we're really kind of beating up on that a little bit with this artillery back here. We have 1 more, kind of core type artillery. Let's hit this unit yet again and really try to soften this thing up. We've got its readiness down to 48. We've taken out several half tracks and just banging away on that thing. So that is all I think of the core and divisional artillery, at least that's still kind of back here by the back. And then we get into the regimental artillery here that has more mortars, right? And so if we look at their gun range, 4. And then we also have these mortars that are 5. And so 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5 here. I actually am going to move this up into this fortification. Right now he's in town, but I'm going to put him in this fortification. Why is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to hit this unit because it's a softer target. So let's hit that with the mortar fire. See if we do any damage. Well, we take out 1 truck. Okay, not as good as I'd like, but let's keep hitting away at it. With this mortar fire, you can see 75 millimeter, 120 millimeter. This time we take out 10 GI veterans, 1 bazooka, and 1 truck. And we're gonna just, I like to. I don't think that I'm breaking any new ground, but I like to focus on just a couple of units with artillery fire and soften those up instead of just kind of spreading it haphazardly around everywhere. Here is more of the mortar artillery, and we'll go ahead and hit there again, trying to take this down. This time we take out 10 GI green, so we're softening that a bit. We see we've got the 156th, we've got the 1055th here. Do we have any more artillery? It looks like we've got anti-tank. We've fired this artillery already. Not really. So I think we're going to go ahead and look at this attack. So let's just see what we can bring into the attack that is a regular attack. We've got 8. We go to 10 to 1 on that attack. So let's go ahead and take that. All right. We lose 10 infantry and 1 Panzerschreck. Not bad for destroying 1 bazooka, 2 trucks, 20 veterans, 2 more trucks, 2 half tracks, 3 greyhounds, and 1 jeep. And so we have knocked that cavalry group back very rudely. This unit could then attack it again. It now goes 15 to 1. Now let's look at this for a second. This unit, I just want to make sure we're not getting any real penalties here. Their readiness is still at 76, so I think we're well positioned there to press that and try to destroy the rest of this, and we do. We completely destroy this unit for the loss of one Panzerschreck, and we'll take it. And that is now gone. Now, do we want to move up on this road? Maybe we don't want to get that aggressive yet. I mean, he's got two decent sized infantry groups here, and I feel a little exposed with this unit. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about just moving back here a little bit. I don't want to get too over my skis, at least in the north. Now, one of these units could move down the road. We don't know what this is yet. You may say, why didn't you use your attack card? Well, we didn't have enough, really, PP to do that. PP? Yeah, no, command point. CP, not PP. Uh, okay. Where I am about to have a child soon. I guess that's where my mind is. Recon. Let's do Recon because I'd like to know what that is. Okay, so let's play the card right on any of those, I guess, and it'll give us extra Recon. Do we know anything more? We do not. Let's look at the hex stats. We're now at 58 Recon, 54 Hide. So we know something exists there. We could move, one of these units up. I don't want to really expose the artillery that much. And again, I'm not being as aggressive as maybe I normally would be up here to the north. Let's see, we've got a height level 1 there, a height level 2 here. Let's back up. We take, oh, we did move out of this little village. Did I really want to do that? Well, that's a good question. I think I did. I mean, even though, because I could move back down in here now with the other infantry. Now that was wasteful. I should have looked at this hex first, but I actually think that's what I wanted to do anyway. Even though he was in this little minor city 1, which would give him some defensive bonus, this was kind of, I mean, he could get attacked 3 different ways. So I think I'm just going to kind of leave that. And move down the road here. All right, so now we've got the other parts of this division, parts of the 1056. They are both 1056. This is the one that just moved back, and then we have the guy that hasn't moved. I don't think we're really going to do anything more with them. Again, I envision these being more of a holding force directly to the north here, and the Americans have a good amount of firepower. But what I would like to do maybe is hit this American unit, cavalry, with some of my infantry. So we can get here, we got a 9. Engineers come in 2 to 1. It's not a great attack for us. Not as good as I would have thought against that cavalry unit. Now, I don't want this to totally bog down, but my ultimate goal is to come around here anyway. Um, Maybe we'll kind of come back to this. Maybe I'll rethink this and go here, but I don't want him. Those concentric attack bonuses can really be something, and I don't want him coming from 3 different directions. Now, I could move both of these up here, move this here, take the engineers here, but the engineers are kind of beaten up a little bit. They've got a 9. It's just because they're not very experienced, I think, is why it shows that 9. Um, okay, well, let's move down here and get into the 272nd, which did come under some fire. And if we look here, fields, these guys are really exposed. Fields, and maybe we could start hitting this with some artillery. We have some more core artillery that actually goes back to the 74th. So this group up here, and where do we want to hit? Well, this infantry is quite strong. These engineers are probably quite weak. We also have artillery here that we could do some counter battery fire, AA, cavalry out here. But I think I'm going to focus maybe on these engineers right here. They're exposed, and let's see if we can take number of them out. We do take out 30 out of 310 and 1 truck. Okay, let's move back here, make sure there's no other arty to move. We just see the sick rungs back there. Fine. Okay, so we've fired the other artillery that is really part of this core up here. And now we get down here into, this is divisional artillery. Is it? No, it's regimental artillery. It's part of the 981st. And so, we're going to go after soft units with this. Here or here, really, I think, are the best two choices. Why don't we now try to hit this infantry a little bit, see what we can soften up there. We do take out 30 GI veterans, one bazooka, one mortar, two US trucks. Okay. No more artillery there. Let's also look at the division. Okay, he's got everybody in his division within command, at least right now. That's why I scooted the divisional headquarters down here. Let's look at this attack right here from the 981st and see if this makes any sense with these two units. Nope, we only go 1-to-1, which is surprising considering we've got we've got a engineer group here. We've got divisional artillery back here. What do we want to try to hit here? Now, I just said I want to focus on certain things, but this unit kind of bothers me and worries me. What kind of hex is he in? This is the plains. Okay, let's really go after that unit. It's kind of the linchpin of his defense right in that area, and you can see we really rip up the Americans there. One mortar, 60 millimeter, one AT gun, three bazookas, 60 GI veterans. So we really hit that quite hard, and I like that. The 980th here, I actually think I'll move this up into this village. It also gets him up into a height level 2. This is a 2. This is a 2. Okay, I'm just trying to get these height levels. Sometimes it's kind of hard to tell. Now, what if we attack this from 3 different directions? What do we get? Well, we get 4-to-1 there. I like that a little better, but maybe we try to soften that up a little bit more. Maybe I should have fired right there. Well, I'm not going to cry over it. We'll come down here and find some other artillery potentially, and indeed we do. There is the 980th Artillery. I'm going to actually fire. I've got this guy on 4 sides too. So we're in good position on both of these units, I feel like. And then that really opens this up around behind this major American formation. Um, this is just plains. I mean, there's not a city there. It's a height level 1. We're a height level 0. So we would be stepping up there. This is on the 1. This is on the 2. Let's keep firing. See, we're going to get return fire from him. Okay, well, I don't want that because it was 1 to 15. We will get no return fire on from the engineers, though. So let's hit them with, yeah, nice. This regimental already gets 30 more engineers, 2 trucks, 1 jeep, 1 other truck as we continue to try to soften that. What do we have over in this town? Do we have any artillery? No. We've got that artillery, that anti-aircraft that we can really do some damage to, I think, when we get back down here. But I want to go look at this artillery, see if there's anything more we can do here. Now this goes to 67th Corps, which is the corps that is in charge of this division, which is the 272nd. Okay, I will start to remember those as we move on. Let's hit this again, infantry group, see what kind of damage we can do there. Not the greatest hit, but we did lower their readiness quite a bit, took down their entrenchment. Okay, took out 10 GI veterans as we get, again, continuing to soften up there. Nothing to the back, just making sure. Artillery, artillery, then we have the Stug back here, but we also have a core artillery. And you know what? If we take this out and move here, we're all the way around this thing anyway. Let's go ahead and hit the engineers yet again. These poor engineers. That wasn't great for the 122 millimeters. We take out 2 bazookas, 1 truck, 2 trucks. Yeah, I would have liked better than that from the arty. These Stugs can move up. But where? Well, let's move them right here for a moment, just so I remember where they are. Now, 272nd, who's our officer here? It's Koenig. Koenig has 12 command points. He could play the attack card, and so that's something to keep in mind as we look at these 272nd Division units. Where do we want to play that? This is a great attack here if we can, once we finally do it. But again, let's look at our Stugs. Where are we going to need those? Well, if we look at the Stugs, if we look at the Stug 3, you can see this is his hard attack defense. We're going to want this up against armor. And we don't see a whole hell of a lot of armor here in the front rank, but we do see American armor there, there, and there to keep in mind. Not nearly as much down here. We see some infantry, one little bit down here. Now this is all, this is the 326th is also part of the Corps. And let's look at the Corps really quickly. The Corps headquarters under Hitsfield. Hitsfield's pretty decent, 50 offense, 60 defense. He could gamble. I don't think we need to do that yet. Or EM unit. Nah, neither one. So the 272nd, though, I do think will play the attack card here eventually. What does this attack look like now with all three of these, now that we've hit it with Artie a few more times? Still 4-1. Okay, what does an attack look like here? Oh, wow. Okay. Um, oh, that's already 3-1 just with the 980th. We're going to get a real concentric bonus as we turn these units here. So the Fusiliers, that's 14-1. I think that's because he's sort of isolated here. We're around him on multiple sides, right? So I think I'd want this unit in. I want to make sure this unit can hit this artillery, though, because we should be able to blow that away. Okay, we also have the regimental artillery down here, and these are all hard units. No reason to hit that. Let's turn back and try to hit this infantry. Wow, that did a lot better than I thought it would. 4 veterans, 1 truck, 1 bazooka, 1 mortar. We take him down even more in the readiness. Wow, okay, I'll take that. Um, we're moving out here on a hard unit. That was not going to be good for the regimental, the 982nd Regiment's artillery to get into. Let's just make sure I know what we've got down here. Okay, I mean, we want these guys to continue to move up the road. Right now we're in Konzen. Well, I say that, but let's see what happens here. Also, let's see, what does this attack look like? 1-2? Well, that's not great. We're not going to bring the headquarters into it, obviously. Let's attack here with parts of the 980th. Okay. It's 7-1 with just the 980th. This takes it to like 17-1, but I want to keep the movement points with the Fusiliers. These are the divisional components. So it's 7-1. I'm going to cancel that for a minute because I am. Let's look at this one more time. Sorry, just want to make sure I get it exactly what I want here. Now see, we can take that attack. We could play the attack card there, and then I think he can also attack here. And if we could take these two out and move through this artillery, all of a sudden we're really threatening to get behind him there. Let's do that. All right, so I'm going to take this unit, go to officer, and play the attack card. So let's play the attack card on him right there. The 981st part of this Volksgrenadier Regiment. Play card. Okay, great. And then now he shows 1-1 all by himself. That takes us to 5-1 instead of 4-1. Fine, let's do it. And we attack there. We get a really nice result. We lose 1 Panzerschreck. We lose 20 Volksgrenadiers. The Americans lose 5 bazookas, 4 trucks, 100 engineers, 6 other trucks, and 3 jeeps. And we just blow them back there. Really nice, really nice. Okay, so I'm going to move this unit up. We're on the same, let's look at the hex. Are we in a town? No, we're in the fields. These are also fields. Okay, I could even move this out and around here. Maybe that's what I'll do. Let's go here first. We take no intercept fire. Well, I don't want him to be able to scooch. Anybody that's watched my videos before, you know how I love scooching when we're doing it, not when somebody else is doing it. 16-1 there. Does the anti-tank add anything? Just a little bit. Do the Jagers add anything? Just a little bit. Stugs, just a little bit. We're going to hold those though. And we're just going to attack with the 3 different brigades here. Did I say brigades? Battalions. I always just say do that. We lose 20 infantry. The Americans lose 4 60 millimeter mortars, 4 81 millimeter mortars. We just ripped this apart. 9 bazookas, 4 trucks, 160 GI veterans, 60 GI greens. This is what happens when you take them apart by artillery first, and we just blew him out of there. Where did he go? Like here? Okay. Now then, this unit could go here, movement cost of 32, or he could go here, movement cost 0. Oh, so we can just follow up that attack because he already attacked into that hex, and then we can hit this again with 14 to 1 odds with just that. I could bring some of the other stuff in, but I'm not going to just yet, and I'll show you why. So let's hit that. We shouldn't really, yeah, we just completely destroyed that unit. I didn't think we needed more than that, but okay, we didn't. Now then, he can move up on this road as we start to try to get around here. We could also hit the engineers again, and we may as well continue to do these follow-up attacks because the readiness is down to almost nothing. And you can see we lose 10 Volksgrenadiers. The Americans lose 16 bazookas, 180 engineers. We completely destroyed this unit just with those follow-on attacks. Excellent. Okay, so that's been taken out. Now then, why I was saving these movement points is I want to hit this artillery. Now we're saying it's 4 to 1 on a regular attack. Why would that be? Does this artillery have more strength than I think it does? What about an attack this way? Well, now we're showing 10 to 1. What are we going uphill or something? Let's check this. We're at a height level 1. They're at a 2. Ah, we are going uphill. I said that almost jokingly, but that's exactly what's going on. Wow, I thought those would be really nice attacks. Like this unit shouldn't. Oh, he's got I didn't see the cavalry. That's what I didn't see this other unit. I was just looking at this artillery, and he's also got another unit under here. Okay, well, pay attention. Um, Good to know. We look really good right there. I really like how this sets up. Um, Okay, what do we have back here again? We've got artillery, we've got a Stug unit, but I want to kind of move this down the road a little bit. I think we're just going to sit right here. We're starting to get into him here a little bit. I didn't realize he had brought that other strength down the roads, so now we're going to have to focus up, into this way a little bit or over here. We're seeing no resistance right up here. Let's hope that that continues. This stew group, I do want to at least get out here on the road and stack with that unit for now. Doesn't look like he can really go much further. If we did attack here, now he can only go at 30% because of all the movement he used to get down the road here. But I like to have that there. I think I'm going to call this an episode right now. When we come back next time, we're going to continue here in the 67th Corps. I really like what happened, kind of in this area as, again, in the north, our movement isn't quite as important. We're really trying to destroy units, not allow them to get out of here, eventually get to Rockin and surround all of this if we can. I don't even know if we can. I haven't played the game before, so we'll find out. But anyway, this has been Strategy Gaming Dojo. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I know I did. We'll come back and get into the rest of this core next time. Have a great one. Adios.